Controlling air pollution. What is air pollution? In simple words, pollution means to contaminate, to degrade the quality and cause adverse effect on the environment or human beings. Pollution can be of different types: air, water, soil, noise, and radioactive pollution. Definition: air pollution can be defined as the change in the physical and chemical quality of the air which causes a negative effect on humans and the environment. The major sources of pollution in today's world are the industries of various types and vehicles. However, there are various other sources that contribute to air pollution like burning of garbage, brick kilns, forest fire, construction work, etc. Air pollution from burning of fuel wood. Domestic combustion is a source of air pollution in the rural areas of developing countries like India, where fuel wood is used for burning the chula. The burning of wood is currently the largest use of energy derived from a solid fuel biomass. Wood fuel can be used for cooking and heating. Environmental impact of burning fuel wood. Let us discuss the environmental impacts of burning fuel wood. It can be summarized as following. The heavy removal of wood from forest can cause loss of habitat for flora and fauna, affects biodiversity of the area. Deforestation for fuel wood cause soil erosion. Burning of wood release carbon dioxide, which is a greenhouse gas, into the atmosphere, resulting in global warming. Inefficient and incomplete combustion of wood can result in elevated levels of greenhouse gases other than carbon dioxide, which may result in positive emissions where the byproducts have greater carbon dioxide equivalent values. Burning of fuel wood releases oxides of sulfur and nitrogen, which interact with atmospheric moisture to cause acid rain. Cutting down trees for fuel wood disturbs the water cycle and reduces the amount of rainfall. Temperature of the place rises as there are less or no trees that cool the surroundings by the process of transpiration and also by absorbing carbon dioxide. The instance of flood increases as there are no trees that help in percolation of water. The groundwater level decreases because of the absence of trees, and also there is decreases the soil moisture. Scarcity of forest products deteriorate the economy of the people dependent on it. Effect of burning fuel wood on the health of rural women. Burning fuel wood is considered as health hazard for the rural women who are exposed for a long period of time to the smoke and particulate matter released. Following are the health effects on the health of rural women. Wood combustion products can include toxic and carcinogenic substances which may cause cancer of lungs. Particulate air pollution can contribute to human health problems and increased hospital admissions for asthma and diseases. The smoke evolved cause irritation and redness of eyes. Can also cause cataract in long run. Alternatives to fuel wood. Use of efficient wood stoves which use dried wood and animal dung or cow dung cakes. Use of biogas is another effective alternative to fuel wood. The sludge residue can be used as manure in the agricultural fields. Solar cooker can also be encouraged. Use of pellets made of cow dung, sawdust or waste from the saw milling can reduce the dependence on fuel wood. Rice husk pellets can also be used. Use of kerosene rationed by the government may also help to reduce the uses of fuel wood. Pellet made from oil cakes, corn or wheat can be another substitute for fuel wood. Bagasse briquettes are in high demand in the market for its features as eco-friendly and renewable energy fuel. These briquettes are economical and cheaper than other solid fuels, that is coal and wood. In addition to this, these are pollution free because there is no release of sulfur or any hazardous material. Air pollution from industries. As said earlier, industries are one of the major contributors to air pollution. They not only release gases that affect the environment but also release toxic gases and particulate matter. They contribute to health problems like chronic bronchitis, asthma, emphysema, and may even cause death. Bhopal gas tragedy is an industrial accident which released gaseous pollutant MIC, that is methyl isocyanates, turned fatal to as many as 30,000 people. Besides, air pollutants damage material like leather, corrode metals, discolor paints, and interference with photosynthesis. Taj Mahal and many other monuments have been damaged due to acid rain. There is a great depth of data on concentration of air pollutants emitted by individual industries. This is due to lack of proper air quality monitoring equipments and in prohibitive cost. It is a great idea to incorporate the monitoring equipments into the process in the design stage itself. The pollutants can be divided into two categories. First, gaseous pollutants. Second, suspended particulate matter, that is SPM. The gaseous pollutants released by the industries vary according to the type of industry. Major polluting gases are carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, oxides of sulfur and nitrogen, hydrocarbons, etc. Almost 10% of the man-made air pollutants exist in the form of particles. The particle size may be as low as 0.001 micron for fumes and as high as 1000 microns for grinding operations. Particulate matter is a health hazard to lungs, reduce visibility and solar radiation. Control of particulate pollutants. The control of particulate depend on a number of factors such as size of particle, that is particle size, physical and chemical properties, concentration and volume of particle, the temperature and humidity of gaseous medium in which particulates are present. Technological measures to control air pollution. Depending on the size of the particles, their weight and distribution in the gas, different devices may be employed to control air pollution. First is preliminary separation of coarse particles that can be achieved by slowing down the velocity of the effluent gases and the changing their direction of flow on plates or channels. Second, gravity settling chambers slows down the flow of gases so that the particles can settle down. Now, this figure 1.1 shows a simplified representation of a gravity settling chamber. The stream of gas containing particles enters the chamber from one end and flows horizontally at small velocity, usually between 1 to 2 meters per second, to enable the settlement of particles by gravity. Advantages: low initial cost, low maintenance cost, easy to design and operate. Disadvantages: requires large space, only large particles can be separated, particle collection efficiency is low. Second method is bag filters or bag house. In industries such as cement plant or stone crushing units, mining industries, dust is generated and thrown into the atmosphere. To control the dust generated, a common arrangement of vertical tubular bag filter, that is fabric type dust collector, is used. The dust bearing gas is intercepted by a permeable fabric in such a manner that the gas passes through the fabric while the dust particles are restrained on the fabric. The separation of particles happens on the external surface of filters. Cyclone filters or cyclone separators. Cyclones are used to remove particles which have size within the range of 10 to 50 micrometer. It makes use of the centrifugal force for the separation of particles. A tangential velocity is imparted to the gas by tangential entry or by vanes, which convert the axial into spiral flow. The particle strikes the wall of the cylindrical cyclone body and exits through the narrow conical exit. The particles fall down due to the force of gravity and the clean air flow out through the gas outlet tube. Advantages of cyclone filters. Efficiency is 90% for particles of 10 micron and 95% for 20 microns. Widely used in cement industry. Disadvantages. Used only for high dust loads. Need continuous electric power. Third measure is wet scrubber. In wet scrubber, flue gas is made to push up against a downcoming, that is water, liquid counter current. It is used to control the acidic gases. The polluted gas stream is sprayed within the lime water to neutralize the acid gas. The gas is passed through the moisture absorber. The dry gas is free from the acidic gases. The inlet also has a filter to trap the SPM. Advantages. Low capital cost. Require less space. Can be used for both gaseous and particulate pollutants. It can remove acidic corrosive gases, capable of handling high temperature and moisture. Disadvantages. High maintenance cost, more pressure drop, high pressure requirements. Electrostatic precipitator. Electrostatic precipitators work on the principle of charging the solid particles suspended in the gas. Flue gas is made to pass through a high ionized zone where the particles get electrically charged and are separated out from the gas by electrostatic field effect. The particles stick to the oppositely charged metal plates. Knocking on these plates make the particles fall into the hopper tray. They are highly efficient and capable of separating particle sizes as low as 0.05 microns. It is capable of handling very large volumetric flow. Advantages. Low pressure drop, low maintenance cost, high efficient for trapping the fine dust particles, consumes less energy as it imparts only charges to the dust particles, can handle large amount of dust particles. Disadvantages. High capital cost, large space requirement, energy efficient devices. The industries use large amount of energy to power their manufacturing processes. Let us study some examples how the industries save energy. Various industries generate steam and electricity for use within their facilities. When electricity is generated, the heat that is produced as a byproduct. This heat can be captured and used for process steam, heating or other industrial processes. Advanced boilers and furnaces can operate at high temperatures while burning less fuel. Motor coils made of superconducting materials can also reduce energy losses. Proper maintenance of the machines and the devices saves energy. Star energy appliances use less energy. Clean technologies. Clean technology is a general term for technology that aims to reduce reliance on non-renewable resources and promote sustainability. For example, switching an energy sources from coal or other fossil fuels to something like solar, wind or hydropower could be described as clean technology initiative. Clean technologies include the use of recycling, use of renewable energy, green transportation, green chemistry, etc. Clean technology represents a diverse range of products, services, and processes, all intended to first provide superior performance at lower cost while greatly reducing or eliminating negative ecological impact at the same time as improving the productive and responsible use of natural resources. Biogas. Biogas, typically referred to as a gas produced by the breakdown of organic matter in the absence of oxygen. It is an eco-friendly biofuel. Biogas is produced by fermentation of biodegradable materials such as cow dung, sewage, plant waste, crop, etc. Biogas comprises mainly of methane, carbon dioxide, and may have a small amount of hydrogen sulfide. Biogas is one of the alternative renewable sources of energy. Production of biogas. Cow dung is mixed with water to form a slurry and introduced into the digester tank and allowed to ferment with the help of microorganisms under anaerobic conditions. This results in the breakdown of the organic matter, thereby releasing biogas. The gas is released through the outlet pipe and stored or directly used in the chula in rural houses. The residue is removed after the formation of gas stops. This residue can be used as a biomanure. Advantages of using biogas. It is low cost, eco-friendly, non-polluting fuel. The raw material is easily available in rural areas. Conserves and reduces dependence on fossil fuel. Reduces the use of firewood in rural areas. Converts waste organic matter into a useful product. The gas produced has a good calorific value and can be used for burning chula. Produces enriched organic manure which can supplement or even replace chemical fertilizers. Saves women and children from drudgery of collection and carrying of firewood, exposure to smoke in the kitchen, and time consumed for cooking and cleaning of utensils. Disadvantages. Not feasible at all the locations, especially in the urban areas. The process is not very attractive economically as compared to other biofuels on a large industrial scale. It is very difficult to ensure the efficiency of biogas systems. Biogas contains some gases as impurities which are corrosive to the metal part of internal combustion engines. Solar energy. It is the energy of the sun that sustains all life on earth. Harnessing the light and heat of sun using ever-evolving technologies is called solar energy. It is a renewable form of energy. Solar power is the conversion of sunlight into electricity either directly using photovoltaic cells or indirectly using concentrated solar power, that is CSP. It can be used for working of devices like water heaters, solar cookers, electricity production, and street lighting. Lenses or mirrors are used to focus the sun's light into the device to produce heat. This is the working principle of above mentioned devices. A solar cell or photovoltaic cell is a device that converts light into electric current using the photoelectric effect. The first solar cell was constructed by Charles Fritts in 1880s. The photovoltaic cells are used to light up the street lamps. Advantages. It is a renewable source of energy. Helps in conservation of non-renewable fossil fuel. Non-polluting source of energy. Once the installation cost is met, the energy production is free of cost. Reduces the electricity consumption cost of the household. Transmission cost reduces as electricity is consumed at the place of production itself. more affordable than fossil fuel. Disadvantages: initial cost of equipment and installation is high. There can be shortage of space for installing large solar panels for electricity generation. Solar energy storage technology has not reached its potential yet. It works well only when the sun is shining. When there is no solar energy to be collected, you will have to have adequate battery backup to get you through these nights and rainy days. Solar panels do not work well in warm temperatures. Solar panels degrade with time. Wind energy. The energy obtained from the wind is called wind energy. Wind power is the conversion of wind energy into useful form of energy, such as using wind turbine to produce electricity or for mechanical power, which can be used for pumping water. A wind farm is a group of wind turbines in the same location used for production of electricity. A large wind farm may consist of several hundred individual wind turbines distributed over an extended area. India too has started wind farm projects in Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, Andhra Pradesh and some states. Advantages: consumes no fuel, emits no air pollution, no significant impact on environment. In other terms, it is eco-friendly source of energy, reduces the dependence on fossil fuel, saves fossil fuel. Once the installation cost is met with, the energy is free of cost, renewable source of energy. Disadvantages: wind farm need large area for installation. Dependence on fast moving wind hence cannot be set up at all places. May use valuable agricultural land. Bird and bat mortality increases. Tidal energy. Tidal energy is a form of hydropower that converts the energy of tides into useful forms of power, mainly electricity. It is the energy produced by the rise and fall of ocean water, that is tides. It is a renewable source of energy and non-polluting source. Limitations. Limitations of tidal energy are its relatively high cost, limited availability of sites with sufficiently high tidal range or flow velocity, thus constricting its total availability. Tidal power can have effects on marine life because turbines can accidentally kill swimming sea life with the rotating blades. Advantages: renewable source of energy, non-polluting source of energy, saves fossil fuel. Geothermal energy. Geothermal is a thermal energy generated and stored in the earth. It is being used to generate geothermal power. Geothermal power is cost effective, reliable, sustainable and environmentally friendly. Meteorological control. The degree to which the air pollutants discharged from the different sources concentrate in a particular area depends largely on meteorological conditions. Even if the amount of pollutants discharged remains same, the degree of pollution may vary due to the meteorological conditions. The knowledge of dispersal theory and the local weather conditions is required to determine the stack height. Meteorological information is necessary to set up the future industries. On the humid day, sulfur dioxide is more corrosive. The variation of the horizontal wind speed with the height of the stack is important in evaluating the dispersal from the stack. The meteorological conditions that influence air pollution are as follows: wind direction and speed, temperature, atmospheric stability, precipitation, humidity, solar radiation. Just as weather affects the air pollution also affects the weather conditions in several ways. The behavior of plume emitted from any stack depends on localized air stability. The industries must be set up in such a way that plume does not move towards the city. This can be done if we know the direction of the wind. The release of air pollutants must be minimized on a cold winter night which often cause smog. Smog is a mixture of smoke and fog which is usually formed in winter. The smog causes respiratory problem in humans and may sometimes lead to asphyxiation. Zoning strategy. Zoning is a land use planning practice common in most developing countries where land is assigned for particular land use. Zoning may include regulation of the kinds of activities which will be acceptable on particular land such as open space, residential, agricultural, commercial or industrial. Proper planning and zoning of industrial and residential areas play an important role in controlling air pollution. Residential areas and the industries should not be close and a green belt must be planted in between. It has been found that certain trees like tamarind and mango are capable of absorbing gases and dust. Such trees can be planted in the green belt. While zoning the land, factors like direction, speed and frequency of wind and topography should be kept in mind. Certain smokeless zones in residential areas can be created. Penalties and subsidies. The Government of India has formulated laws to sustain a healthy environment. These laws helps the government to keep a check on the polluting industries and also provide ambient air quality standard and emission standards. The Air Prevention and Control of Pollution Act 1981 of the Government of India came into force from May 16, 1981. The Act to provide for the prevention, control and abatement of air pollution. The Central Pollution Control Board and State Pollution Control Board have been constituted to look after the matter pertaining to it. The Central Pollution Control Board has notified the ambient air quality standard for major parameters like SPM, sulfur dioxide, carbon dioxide and nitrogen dioxide. The failure to comply with the specific provisions of the Act attract penalties. The court at district level and high courts are the courts where offences can be tried on written complaint by the Pollution Control Board. The violation may lead to fine or cancellation of license or even imprisonment. The government also provides subsidies in form of financial support by the government for activities believed to be eco-friendly. Subsidies include grants, low interest loans, favorable tax treatment. Numerous states offer favorable tax treatment for the construction and installation of pollution control equipment. Case study: the Taj Trapezium. The beauty of Taj Mahal, one of the wonder of the world, is threatened by the gaseous pollutions or the gaseous pollutants emitted by 512 industries surrounding it. Effect of acid rain on Taj Mahal. The gaseous pollutants result in the formation of acid rain, which is responsible for the yellowing of the Taj Mahal and even cracking and chipping of its marbles. The Taj Trapezium Zone, that is TTZ, is a defined area of 10,400 square kilometers around the Taj Mahal to protect the monument from pollution. The TTZ comprises over 40 protected monuments including 3 World Heritage Sites, the Taj Mahal, Agra Fort and Fatehpur Sikri. TTZ is so named since it is located around the Taj Mahal and is shaped like a trapezoid. Court of India delivered a ruling on December 30, 1996 regarding industries covered under the TTZ in response to a PIL seeking to protect the Taj Mahal from environmental pollution. Number 1. It banned the use of coal or coke in industries located in the TTZ with a mandate for switching over from coal coke to natural gas. Number 2. Relocating them outside the TTZ or shutting down. 3. Creation of a green belt around the Taj Mahal. The Mathura oil refinery located close to Agra is also said to be a major source of sulfur dioxide affecting the marble stones of Taj Mahal. The Mathura oil refinery on its part has taken up the following steps to reduce sulfur dioxide emission. First, use of only low sulfur fuel oil. Use of only low sulfur fuel oil in its furnaces and boilers. Installation of sulfur recovery unit and continuous improvement in its efficiency. State-of-art instruments for emission control and monitoring devices. Continued emphasis on energy conservation measures. The above measures taken by Mathura oil refinery have reduced the sulfur dioxide emission level to nearly 500 kg per hour, which is much under the stipulated limit of 700 kg per hour.